Good day, everyone. So the new kid is on the block, Tower of Fantasy, and everyone's playing it. And whilst they are playing it, I am here. I've spent my money on Genshin Impact. I'm enjoying the true end game, except I'm not. As you can see on screen, I can literally not play with my characters because of nonsense like this. This is so annoying. So, yeah, Tower of Fantasy came out, and whilst I don't think it will by any means be a replacement to Genshin Impact, I do think it will hopefully spur the developers and the publisher on to at least start fixing some of the core issues in Genshin Impact, because Tower of Fantasy, quite frankly, has done some of those things just a lot better. Now, what are some of the things that I would like to see in Genshin Impact? And this is sort of what I want to talk about in this video. What I want to see, or at least get a bit of a hint of, or at least have the developers acknowledge in the Saturday preview, would be a couple of very small things. So, for instance, in Tower of Fantasy, their equivalent of the Blessing of the Welkin Moon gives you about 100 currency per day, as opposed to 90 as we have in Genshin Impact. The problem with 90 currency in Genshin is that if you get 90 plus the 60 from your daily commissions, you still don't have a full wish. Whereas if they buffed it to 100 primo gems per day, at least we would have a wish a day, sort of, if you're a low spender. That would be such a huge change. The other thing that I've seen now is, because Tower of Fantasy came out, and obviously a lot of people have a lot of currency, and the pity system and the wishing system is a bit more generous, you can definitely sort of see that there will be a bit of a bias in a lot of people's memory that Tower of Fantasy is better, or like it gives you more value or bang for your buck in that sense. And the way in which I think Genshin should address this is at least lowering our guarantee from 90 to 85. I think that is definitely something that they should start addressing, as well as adding more characters, not existing characters, but new, fresh characters to the standard banner, and allowing us to pick 3 of those characters from the standard banner that we want to, in air quotes, lose the 50-50 to. It is so terrible getting characters that you do not care about, that you do not want to play, and that you have no intention of ever using. It's just so sad that you have no option, no ability to choose in any capacity. And yeah, I've argued in the past that the 50-50 system should go away, but as most F2Ps on my videos have commented, they love the F2P, the 50-50 system. They don't think it should go away, and in fact it's more generous than some of the other gacha games. So yeah, since you guys love the 50-50 system so much as I want it gone, unfortunately it's still going to stay. But yeah, I'm sort of tired of speaking on that point. The other thing that they should increase is definitely the resin cap. Like, I mean, 200 should be the minimum, and it should increase faster, so that we get the equivalent of 200 a day. These are some of the small things that I do think they need to fix, in particular because we're getting Sumru, we're getting a new region, new dungeons, and your resin is just spread so thinly. So the game is becoming more and more anti-F2P the longer it sort of goes on. Just in terms of the systems they've set up, the progression, the gear system, world level, it really is kind of archaic, and I don't know how they're going to address it. And this is exactly why games like Tower of Fantasy and other equivalent games are sort of giving us a bit of a stronger impression. It's not because they've got something different or something new, it's because nothing is changing in Genshin Impact, and that is the more frustrating part. Just like my attacks here don't matter, this boss is also broken. As you saw there, basically Klee's bombs blocked the ice cube. It's so stupid. I don't know how this got past like quality testing, but it is something that's kind of ridiculous. Alright, so let's talk about other long-term things that I want them to fix in Genshin Impact, since we're now on the topic of other games doing things better. I think they should release way more character skins in the game, and C6 characters should have an automatic new skin unlocked with new animations, for 5 stars of course. And I do think a lot of these skins should come with tokens, like I've said in a previous video, where basically through playing the events, Spiral Abyss and so on, you get tokens and you can then unlock some of these skins. So not everything is going to be fully paywalled. Your 1 or 2 characters that you really like are characters you could then work towards getting, like alternative skins, voice lines, story packs, all of these sort of things, and alternative animations. These are just some of the extra things that they could add, and then they'll also give you like a bit more of a reason to play the game, other than just getting primo gems and wasting it on another lost 50-50. completely. I do think we need more incentive to play, and the big thing is in Genshin Impact, characters are the content, so give us more character content and means of working towards getting this content. It would also mean that you pulling on a character banner will give you much more, it'll be much more valuable because it's not just the combat aspect, but there are other aspects as well that'll be cool. A couple of other things they need to fix is at least give us like 12 level difficulty, but add 4 more floors onto the spiral abyss and remove this stupid timer mechanic. Give us like a scoring based system, it'll be so useful. We need a spawn area as well, or a special area in the teapot where you could spawn your own sort of enemies with certain health and stuff that you can configure. I think it'd be so cool because this will allow people to do genuine sort of testing and sort of evaluation of units, other than, oh yeah, we just rigged the spiral abyss where the one half is Rider National and the other half just favors the character that's currently on the banner. It's so stupid. I do think the entire end-game setup currently of Genshin is very lacking in that regard. I think a couple of other things that I'd also like to see is buffing the scaling of some of the older units. I know we can never nerf stuff, so obviously we can't nerf Xingshu or Bennett because people are scared of some Chinese law does not allow the, what do you call it, degradation of digital goods and all that good nonsense. There's no such thing in my opinion because you're paying for crystals, not characters, but in any case that's a different argument. Just buff the older units, just up the bit of their scaling. Xinyan, some of the underperforming units, it's not the end of the world. They did it with Zhongli and they rightly did so with Zhongli. He needed buffs. If anyone tells you otherwise, then yeah, they're an idiot. So Zhongli needed buffs and they have shown that they can buff characters. Why they didn't do it is beyond me. And then finally here on my little fixgenshin.txt notepad, the last thing I've written is Genshin is a character-driven game, and for me, characters should feature more in events rather than some random NPC that's from an upcoming region in Fontaine that we'll only see in 5 years' time again. I do think they did it correctly with the recent events in 2.7 and now in 2.8 with the island and so on, but I do think they need to be more even with the character content. So Kazuha was part of the, I think, Iridori Festival. We've had now another Kazuha quest, and we've now had a Kazuha Island as well. And we had a Kazuha banner. It's just a bit too much Kazuha, and in a certain sense, I don't own Kazuha on my accounts, but I'm fed up with the character. I know too much now about Kazuha. I want a bit more of other characters. Where's the Lisa, the Jean? Where are some of these older characters that we haven't seen in like a really long time? I do think we definitely need that. So yeah, Genshin Impact should be way more even. It's one of my biggest fears and concerns with this game is the more characters we get, the more regions, the more neglect. And for a game that's driven primarily or marketed as a character-driven game, it is a big yikes. But yeah, in summary, that's all I have to say.